from last class onwards we are discussing about coal and petroleum. Okay, in last class we discussed about natural resources. Those are two types, inexhaustible natural resources and exhaustible natural resources. So we are discussing about exhaustible natural resources. Those are, in last class we studied about coal. Okay, so uses of coal, how story of coal means formation of coal and everything discussed in the last class, right? Okay, so we already studied about a fuel also. Okay, what is fuel? So fuel is nothing but fuel is a substance which when burned gives a heat. Okay, wood, coal and petroleum are examples for fossil fuels. Is nothing but there are the fuels which are formed by the dead remains of living organisms over a long period of time. Those are three types: coal, petroleum and natural gas. Okay, in previous class we studied about coal. Okay, what are the uses of coal and how the coal is formed, and what are the byproducts, what are the products which are extracted along the coal also we'll discuss in the last class. Okay, so those are coke, coal tar and coal gas are the three products which are, so which are the byproducts or products extracted along the coal. Okay, so in this class we'll discuss about the petroleum. Okay, so how the petroleum is formed and what are the uses. Okay, what are the products or byproducts which are obtained while extracting the petroleum also will be discussed in this class. Okay, we'll discuss in this class. So petroleum. So while studying about the coal, see, coal is in a form of solid, right? And petroleum is in a form of liquid. Okay, so the both are extracted from the, or both are formed by the dead remains of the organisms over the long period of time. But one is liquid and one is solid. So these difference, like coal is solid and petroleum is solid, in liquid, these difference is the due to the formation process is different for the both. Okay, so see, by the flooding or earthquakes the dead vegetation is buried under the soil. So due to the high pressure and high temperature, these dead vegetation converted into the coal. Okay, so this coal is the main source of carbon. That's why this process of slow conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. We already discussed. Okay, so basically petroleum is not a petrol. Okay, petroleum is not a petrol. So petrol is made with a lot of products like diesel, lubricants, gas, oil, wax and petrol. Okay, so petrol is a part of petroleum. Okay, so petroleum is nothing but it's a complex mixture. Okay, it consists of so many products. Okay, like diesel, lubricant or gas, oil, wax and petrol. Okay, so petrol is a part of petroleum. Like coal, petroleum also fossil fuel too. Okay, see, fossil fuel is nothing but it is formed from the remains of dead organisms, but it is liquid, right? Yes, I already said. Why this is liquid? The process of formation is much different from the formation of coal. Okay, so petroleum is formed from the remains of dead sea creatures as they died. Their bodies settled at the bottom of the sea or ocean. Okay, so these what about coal? Coal is a due to the earthquake or flooding, right? Those are buried under the soil. So here the petroleum is formed from the dead remains of sea creatures as they died. Their bodies settled at the bottom of the sea or oceans and gradually got covered by the sand and clay, etc. Okay, so over the million of years, absence of air and high temperature and high pressure, these transferred dead organisms into petrol and natural gas. Okay, so see, the formation is different, right? Yes or no? So petrol is a formed from the organisms living in the sea or ocean. Okay, so as these organisms died, their bodies settled at the bottom of the sea. Just I'll write the story, okay, in a few lines so that you can answer the written questions. Okay, so just see, petroleum is formed from organisms living in the sea or ocean. As the organisms died, the bodies settled at the bottom of the sea, got covered with the layers of sand and clay. Over millions of years, absence of air and high temperature, these transformed dead organisms into petroleum and natural gas. In your textbook, he given planktons. Planktons are the nothing but these sea creatures. Okay, so in their bodies, petroleum is stored. That is due to the high temperature and high pressure. These petroleum is settled at the bottom of the sea or ocean. Okay, so see, even sometimes natural gas is found or trapped along with the petroleum, and sometimes without petroleum also. Okay, so natural gas is found trapped between impervious rocks, sometimes along with the petroleum and sometimes without the petroleum also. Okay, see, natural gas is found trapped between impervious rocks. Okay, sometimes along with the petroleum and sometimes without petroleum. Okay, so these are the impervious rocks. Okay, these are the impervious rocks, and in between these two, see, you can see oil, and this is a water. Okay, so this is water and this is oil and this is natural gas. Okay, like this drilling rig we can extract the petroleum and even natural gas. Okay, so previously this was allowed to escape this natural gas. Okay, see, previously this gas was allowed to escape or even burnt while pumping out the petroleum. Now the natural gas is treated as equally precious because it is safer for the so it is safer for environment, and natural gas is stored under high pressure as compressed natural gas. Okay, CNG. Yeah, we already learned that CNG is used by some vehicles. Okay, so petroleum is complex mixture. I already said it is separated in various components by separation technique known as a fractional distillation. Okay, see, these coal, petroleum and natural gas, these three are extracted or formed by the dead remains of the organisms and vegetation. That's why these three are called fossil fuels. Okay, fuel is nothing but a substance which when burnt gives a heat. Okay, so so this is a petroleum is a complex mixture, we already said, and it is a dark color liquid which is a unpleasant smell. Okay, so this is I mean the we already said this is a complex mixture, right? It is separated into various components by a separation technique known as a fractional distillation. Okay, so petroleum is a complex mixture. So this petroleum is a complex mixture. It is separated into various components by separation technique known as a fractional distillation. Okay, so after extracting these, we have to refine the petroleum. Okay, refining of petroleum, it is a mixture of various constituents such as gas, petroleum, diesel and lubricant oil and paraffin wax. So refining is nothing but the process of separating the various constituents fractions of petroleum. Okay, see, refining of petroleum. So petroleum is a mixture of mixture of various constituents various see, petroleum is a mixture of various constituents such as gas, petroleum, diesel, lubricating oil. Okay, Lubri, lubricating oil and paraffin wax. Paraffin wax. Okay, so what is refining? Refining is the process of separating the various constituents or fraction of petroleum. Okay, so we already said that petroleum is a mixture of various constituents, right? We are separating them in the by the process called refining. It is carried out in a petroleum refinery. Okay, so this refining process is carried out in a petroleum refinery. So various constituent of petroleum and their uses. Okay, how they are used in for different purposes. Let us see. See, what is refining? The process of separating the various constituent fractions or constituent or fraction of petroleum. Okay, See, what is refining? The process of separating various constituent of or fractions of petroleum is called uh, refining. Okay, so it is carried out in a petroleum refinery. Okay, so let us see the uses of various uses of, see, various constituents of petroleum and their uses. Okay, so where they are used. So first one is petroleum gas in a liquid form fuel for home and industries. Okay, that is LPG. Okay, so uses, various constituents of petroleum and their uses. Okay, so how they are used. So first one is petroleum gas in a liquid form fuel for home and industry, that is LPG. So it is used for home and industries. Okay, so first one is petroleum gas, that is LPG. Okay, so LPG is used for home and industries. Okay, home and industries. And next one is petrol. You know very well about the petrol, where it is used. Okay, so petrol is fuel for motor vehicles and aviation fuel, solvent for dry cleaning. Okay, so where the petroleum is used, fuel for motor vehicles, and it is a aviation fuel also, aviation fuel, and it is a solvent for dry cleaning. Okay, and third one is kerosene. So it is a fuel for stoves. Okay, some stoves are worked on the work on the kerosene. Okay, so fuel for stoves, lamps, and for jet aircrafts also. Okay, so fuel for stoves. Okay, and lamps, and for jet aircraft. Okay, jet aircraft. In jet aircraft, kerosene used as a fuel. Okay, so next one, diesel. What are the uses of diesel? Diesel, heavy motor vehicles. It is used in a fuel for heavy motor vehicles. Heavy motor vehicles and electric generators. Okay, electric generators. Next, lubricating oil. So we know already what are the lubricants. We already studied in a lesson, friction. Okay, so lubricants are used to reduce the friction or increase friction. So to increase the friction, to smooth function the machinery parts. Okay, so lubricant oil is extracted from the petroleum. It is used to reduce the friction between machinery parts. Okay, lubricating okay, so lubricating oil used to reduce the friction between machinery parts. Okay, and paraffin vaccine. Paraffin wax. So it is used in making Vaseline, candles, and ointment, etc. Okay, Vaseline, candles, and ointments. Okay, and next one is bitumen. So it is for while laying the roads. Okay, you can see the black color substance on the road, right, shining part. So that is a bitumen. So it is, bitumen is used in paints and road surfacing. Okay, bitumen is used in paints, road surfacing. Okay, so in see, that's all for us in this class. In next class we'll discuss about natural gas detailing, and about the natural gas and petrochemicals, and how we should use efficiently without wasting these fossil fuels, so that our future generations will experience these comforts. Okay, thank you.